Hey guys, welcome back to another Fortnite video, and today we're bringing you THICC boy, Kyle himself. Just give me a minute. I found him. I finally found him, and he just wants to have a little conversation. Kyle, listen, Kyle. Things have been going great between me and Sarah. There's no, stop it, Kyle. What are you doing? Knock it off. You don't need to hit me. Everything's okay. We're still friends. Guys, I found Kyle and he's very angry. Me and Sarah apparently have a great relationship and he's not really feeling it. I just wanted to put this on tape to prove it to you that, oh my, wait, this isn't Kyle. That's not Kyle! Brother, it has been a pleasure sitting in battle with you. Good luck. Good luck. Start swinging! Go! We can't! They shall not pass! They shall not pass! What's going on, guys? Roundedtiktak here for real this time. Just wanted to have a little fun. We have Bombsquad Kyle. Now, I have no idea how this character relates to steampunk at all, but I am glad we have this THICC boy Kyle. And in fact, it says a lot of things about the game that might be coming, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I just want to say that I had a lot of fun recording this, making this footage, hanging out with my friends, and just being a one tanky THICC boy, because he is tanky. But we're gonna break him down like we always do, show you how I decided to play him. This isn't going to be a guide because he's niche, very niche, and you can kind of play him any way you want and just have a lot of fun with him because he's one tanky boy. Let's get into it. Bombsquad Kyle. So if we're talking about armor, or any stat really, well, not everyone, but most, have something called a diminishing return. Now, what is a diminishing return? It is simply something that developers put into a game so you can't break it. And in this case, it's armor. Armor having a diminishing return makes it so you cannot become invincible. Eventually, at some point, if you stacked enough armor, you would be at 100% damage reduction and you just wouldn't be able to die. So they make sure that things have caps and diminishing returns, and armor is definitely one of the things in the game that this applies to. But how much is too much, and how much can you actually benefit from having, let's say, maximum armor? Maximum armor in this game gives you 60% damage reduction, and that's 150 armor you need to stack. Now, is it worth it? I mean, 60% damage mitigation is fantastic, but you're losing out on a lot of other things. The only way to get to that stat is to use the Baron Hammer with base Kyle and put 3 armor rolls on the hammer. So you're losing out on crit chance, crit damage, attack speed, whatever, impact on the weapon itself to stack more armor. But I mean, you can see in the video of how little damage I'm taking. I'm sitting at 186 armor here, so I'm well over the cap. This is a 118 mission. I'm only playing with 3 people, so I don't have max stats, and I'm tanking everything there is, even the mini boss. So if there are diminishing returns on a hammer, how much or what is an appropriate amount of armor to stack to get the maximum benefit you can? Well, we can take a look at this spreadsheet here. I believe this was made by White Sushi. Somebody gave me this. I think it was White Sushi. I don't have a link for it, but I will post this picture link on Imager or whatever it's on down in the description below if you want to check it out. It has all of the diminishing returns in the game, but we're focusing on the armor stat. We can see at 100 armor, you get a 50% damage reduction. And then at 150 armor, you hit the cap at 60% damage reduction. However, to get to that last 50 takes an entire roll on a hammer or play a different character or whatever just to get an extra 10%. And I don't think it's worth it. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I would say that if you're going for a tanky-esque build and you want to be in the fray, because that's what we're trying to do here, I would say 100 armor is what you're trying to hit. At 50% mitigation, you're not going to notice that last 10% for hitting the 150 armor cap. The way the game works with hitting enemies and how they crowd around you and stuff like that, 10%, although it does work for you, you're just not going to notice it, and you're going to get more benefit from having a different role. Now, in this video, we're going to go over that, but let me try to explain this a different way. Another way we can say this, or at least try to explain it, is that if it took 50 attacks to kill you by just a single husk, even though the game doesn't work like that, but let's just say for this purpose, if it took 50 attacks to kill you at 0 armor, at max armor, it would take 75 more attacks for a total of 125 attacks to kill you at max armor. But if you only have the 100 armor at 50% damage mitigation, it'll take 25 less attacks or more attacks. I'm not sure exactly how to say that, but you're not going to notice it is the point I'm trying to make. So yes, at 50% damage mitigation, you will be a very tanky boy in your bomb suit, taking everything and just having fun, but I don't think it's worth it going for that last 10%. Now, enough mathematics, let's talk about the actual gameplay and exactly how you want to play. The only weapon in the game, at least to my knowledge, that can stack 3 armor rolls is the Baron. The Baron is the new hammer that we just got. With 120 extra armor, you're well on your way to the cap. But at 120 armor, you already know that it's over the 100% armor we're trying to get, or at least 100 armor stats. With base Kyle, bomb base Kyle, his commander perk is 66 extra armor. So technically, to hit that 100% threshold, that 50% damage reduction, we only need 1 armor roll, which is fantastic because now you can roll your Baron any way you want. And it also allows for other weapons in the game that can roll an armor roll to be more than enough, or at least very close to the threshold of you getting to that maximum 100 armor, 50% damage mitigation. So what I decided to do, now constructors are an iffy class to make any kind of video on because 90% of the time you just want them to have base perks and to protect the objective. That's what they're meant for. That's what they do. Very rarely would I ever suggest to just make an all-out brawler character. However, him being so tanky kind of leads to that. Now, you're not going to put a bunch of base perks on this character because there's no point of it. What's the point of having maximum armor, maximum damage mitigation if you're just sitting back on top of an Atlas and sniping things? It just doesn't work. Play a different character, play a sniper character, play a soldier. But if you want to play this specific play style, there are a few things that you can do. If you want to be in the fray for as long as humanly possible, on the new missions with the Storm, the beta missions, if you want to stay in that for longer, then there are a few things you can do to make it better. So number 1, we're gonna play, because the video's about Bombsquad Kyle, we're gonna play Bombsquad Kyle. I know, mind-blowing. Bioenergy source is what we're checking out for this. This recovers the shield of 0.25 energy lost. Now, Constructor's abilities are on a very long cooldown, especially Rosie on a 3-minute long cooldown. Bull Rush is a little shorter. However, we're going to be focusing on this perk for the heavy attacks of the hammers. There's 3 of them, and they're all pretty good. You have the Baron that does the overhead slam, which with an AoE knockback. You have the lead sled that does a huge leaping attack, and you also have a couple of others that do like a whirlwind attack. All 3 heavy attacks for hammers are fantastic, so there's no reason to not use bioenergy source and to use them. However, there are a few things that you can change in the build. Number 1, we're going to take Survivalist here. You guys know what it does. It heals you for enemies eliminations, and just all in all, a decent perk. You actually end up out healing the amount of damage you take, which is pretty cool. As long as you're going one-on-one with somebody, enough enemies will damage you more than this can heal you. We're going to bring software because hardware heavy attack efficiency. We want to keep bioenergy source up as much as possible. Actuated attacks. This is just for base damage. We're not speccing into crit or anything like that for a specific reason. We want this character to be basically a CC heavy machine. You want him to knock things around, high impact, his bull rush, taunt. You want him to crowd control a lot of things. In a pinch, I had here because I was running the new shotgun with him, and it worked out pretty well. This was the only weapon perk that I brought, but if you do not want to bring this and you want to focus solely on hammers and staying in the fray, the other thing I'm going to suggest to you is bring either Anti-Cuddle Sarah or the Fuel for the Fallen perk on the bad version Ranger Jonesy. Fuel for the Fallen or Anti-Cuddle Sarah would be perfect here, as you're going to be using your heavy attacks a lot and you want to keep your stamina, your energy up as much as possible. Maximum Overload is the last perk we're going to take here. Increase kinetic overload damage by 50%. Kinetic Overload is a perk that all constructors have, and melee knockbacks stagger trigger kinetic overload, dealing 25 base damage, so now it's 75 base damage to nearby enemies. After melee critical hits, increases melee impact damage by 10%. Now, the thing is when this thing does proc, it seems to increase your impact on the enemy it activated on. So you're going to add some more impact, possible knockdown, or anything like that. Now, a couple things I just want to say. Is this build necessary to get through the game? No. Is it viable for things that might be harder? Yes. With the new zone coming, we might have to play more tanky characters. And in fact, I was thinking maybe, just maybe, we'll get a constructor that is meant for the higher end gameplay, and this could be it. If you want to play him with the traditional Ice King, etc., Mega Base, etc., the things to increase your base size and efficiency, feel free. And having the 66 armor in a harder mission, and I'm talking the new zones when it comes out, stuff like that, nothing in the game currently, this might work out. Eventually, there's going to be a point where 66 armor, 100 armor is not going to cut it. Once you get to level 200 plus, you're going to get one shot no matter how much armor you have. So there is going to be a threshold where this character shines. It's not in the game yet. And then there's also going to be a threshold where it's absolutely useless and you can't bring a ninja or a melee constructor or anything like that. But yeah, that's my review on Bomb Kyle. Had a little fun making this video. I hope you guys appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. By the way, we hit 15,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. We hit 15K. Here's to 20K. There's going to be a huge giveaway stream coming up soon. Let me just, gain my materials up and get ready for it, probably next weekend. So I'll keep you up to date on that. Next video tonight is going to be the shotgun. And just a quick little thing, I like it. It's almost like a decent old Betsy version of a shotgun that's a lot more accurate than the Squire. So if you haven't picked up either one of these characters, feel free to do so. I give them my TikTak stamp of approval. A lot of fun making this one. Guys, if you want to check out the stream and live theory crafting, twitch.tv/Roundedtiktak. We'd love to have you there. If you guys want to join the Discord, we're redoing it. All you got to do is click to the link in the description below, and that'll bring you there too. Thanks for all the love and support. I'll see you on the next one, guys. TikTak out.